kiss on the cheek. That's how some countries do it. Mexico is another country that does it. They kiss on the cheek and they don't kiss on one cheek. They kiss on two cheeks. Yeah, I have to take kiss. Hi, good afternoon or good morning. Welcome to another day in my classroom. Today we're going to be looking at social issues and trends. What are the social issues and trends that are happening in physical education now? Stick around to find out. Alexa, no, I'm not tell you to take off a Saturday one more time. Take it off, please. Alright, so what are some trends that are happening in sports now? Let us see if you know what we're talking about before I give you a clue. What? Football. What is hot in football right now? World Cup. What are some other things that are happening within World Cup? The sides that are playing, what else? Goals that are scored, what else? Lose, no, you know it's one thing I thought everybody would be saying. Alright, so alright, so the big side that we expect to win. The big sides that we expect to be winning, they are not winning. And also another thing that are persons from countries who are not participating in the World Cup are also supporting other teams. So those are some trends that are happening and social issues that are happening within physical education or within sports now. So everybody get that? Alright, so now we're going to look at some definition of terms, alright? Look how long you're sitting there, so I think you start right already. So now we're going to look at ethics in sports. Today is the 28th. So we're looking at ethics in sports. And we're saying ethics is an unwritten code of good behavior. Everybody get that definition? Or understand what we're trying to say? Ethics. Alright, so it's an unwritten code of good behavior. So say for example, you give me I borrowed your pen. What would you expect me to say when you lend me the pen? Thank you, right? And when I'm giving it back to you, you can say you're welcome. When I say thank you, you'd have said you're welcome. So it's an unwritten code of good behavior. And we're going to look at some ways that ethics are displayed in sport when we're finished. Because remember, we're looking at physical education. So everything that we look at has to be related to physical education. Alright, so before I give you the answers, based on the definition that we just wrote for ethics, right? And the example that I gave to J. Roy, what would be some examples of ethics in sports or being displayed in sports?
So again, good sportsmanship.
I don't want that. You don't run, you know? You don't run, you know? But I just didn't expect y'all would have gotten it so quick. I got the picture, so I don't want to. You can't just say good sportsmanship, you have to be specific. No, remember we're looking at ethics. And ethics, based on the definition that you just wrote, said an unwritten code of good behavior. So I want to know some good ethical practices that are done in sports. No, you give me sportsmanship and I don't want that. We're watching World Cup. Yeah. So what is that, Mark? Mark, why are you so shy? Me show me something where someone get correct, you know? Say it now. I know, me say. Alright, when we watch World Cup, right? Alright, so a World Cup I go on now. I will show everybody I watch, right? When we watch it. What are some of the ways that ethics is displayed? When we look at it. No, man. Alright, say for example, a player is injured and the referee don't see. What another? Then that one here, man. That's
Good
ethics.
sportsmanship.
No. If we're both an opposing teams, right? Hold on. If we're both an opposing teams, right? And I got injured and nobody is looking at me from my team, and Antoine decides to look at me or to indicate to the referee that something is wrong with me, that's displaying good ethics. That is why I'm saying to you, you cannot be doing physical education and you're not current in what is happening in sports. What's another way, based on that example that I gave, what's another one? I want you to give me another one before I give you the two that I have. Think about it. Come on, they're not so hard. Alex, stop biting your fingernail. And think about an answer. I'm just using World Cup because it's so current. So you can do for any sport. No man. Come on, are y'all watch sports? Even when matches being played down there, right? And somebody kick away the ball. And it's not, I kick it away and it's not my ball. And somebody decides to go for it. That's on the opposing team. We don't consider that good. We don't consider that good ethics.
No.
Of course it is. We're an opposing team. No. That's how you look at it, but then you would have been wrong. So that's an example of good ethics. Come on, we have to think. Alright, so now I'm going to give you two examples. Hold on, I think I'll Alright, so this was one that I thought you would have all said. So when a football player is injured, the ball may be kicked out of play on purpose, so the injured may be assisted. I thought you would have said this. Sorry, write down these two examples. Yes. Because remember, if the ball is in play, you cannot stop the game, and the referee might not realize the extent to which the injury is happening. So if you were watching, thank you, that's why I thought everybody would have said that one. Do you remember a time when the game was being played and this footballer, I think he got hit in the face, right? And then he got a really bad hit to the point where his tongue curled back. And an opposing player placed his finger between his teeth so he knows what I'm talking. So that's an example of ethics, a good ethics in sports. So y'all know them, but you're afraid to say. You see, you Mark, you know the person name, but you never know if I say it a while ago. Alright, so we're going to write this off. Part that says a cricket player walking away from the crease. When he knows he is out, he doesn't wait for the umpire to tell him. So you have sometimes that you're watching cricket and when you look, you realize, yes. So the umpire will say he's not out, called not out, but because he knows within himself that he's out, he decides to leave the crease. So that these are two basic examples of ethics in sport. Yes. So it would be like when we're down on the field playing and I don't really see that the ball is outside and you know that the ball is outside and you say, alright, outside. So that's ethics. So that's you practicing ethics and you never realize. That's what you're doing. So precisely. That's why I can't believe it took so long for y'all to figure out what I was trying to say. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to look at for today is stereotyping. And this is having a fixed image of a group of people. So sometimes you don't see you have not yet seen the persons, but maybe based on how they talk, you just decide that, okay, I saw them look. Or sometimes you will talk a certain way and you'll say, which country you come from. Right. So that would have been an example of how we stereotype persons. So we're going to copy this off as well.
Imagine British people that I speak.
But it's not okay. It doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter who does it, it's not okay. It's 2022. Stereotyping is not okay and racism is not okay.
Like say China man can TikTok and he speak Jamaican but he Chinese and he say he brought Jamaican.
Yeah, but what I don't appreciate with him was something that he said about Jamaicans being done. That's not cool. You cannot, whether or not it's a Jamaican saying it to another Jamaican, does not make it correct. It's still wrong. That's what we're trying to say. It's still wrong. So even when we say to each other, even though we are all Jamaicans, it is still stereotyping and it's still considered a form of racism and it's not okay. Yes, he did it, and I can't believe there were persons who were condoning it. It's not correct, no matter who says it, it's wrong. Alright, so as I was saying, we're looking at racism now. So we're saying racism is treating persons differently because of their skin color or racial origin. So remember, we're saying that Dembele is not an American, he's not an American, yes, he's from an African nation. And he and a couple other American players in the Premier League has suffered racism. I remember we're saying it's not okay. And the club can be fined, and the persons who do it can also be fined as well. And they can also say no more matches are going to be played here because you don't know how to control your spectators. Or they can also say no spectators can be played, can come in when there's a match. Does everybody get that? Alright. If you are not winning, then it's a disadvantage to you. So that's why I'm saying that you have to be careful how you do it. But it was outlined that this is what is going to happen, so you have to know, say, you do what you're supposed to do. Alright, turn around McPherson already. So now we're looking at sportsmanship, and before when we just started having a discussion, Antoine was talking about sportsmanship, right? So we're saying this refers to the written and unwritten rules of the game. It is about behaviors which shows the spirit of the game. So even if it's not anywhere written down, we know these are some of the things that we do to show good sportsmanship. So we're going to write out the definition first before we see if you know some examples of them. So go and think about it. Alex, you have to give one because you never give no example for you to sit down there. So. It's true, you don't give none. Alright, so now we're going to look at ways one shows sportsmanship. And if you notice, the slide is blank because this side is where we're going to have a discussion. Meaning you're all going to tell me what you think should go here. And I'm going to tell you if you're correct.
Alright,
so Antoine is talking.
When I say anthem and thing, you don't have to say anthem, but you just have to say And for instance, KP and JC are players, the official say, JC, yeah, wow, and wow, and shake.
Alright, so the first one that should go underneath is the shake hand. Let's go write it. Shaking of hands. So that's the first way. But it shows that you understand what you're trying to say. It shows that you understand what you're trying to say. So after shaking hand, what else can they do? Have a lot more now, come on, man. Hug, that's two, so you hug your opponent.
Respect to the referee.
How do you show respect to the referee? Thank you. Tell him say have shape.
Like if he call, like if I do someone in call.
No, I don't want that. Because that's not correct. Not correct. I said show sportsmanship. Remember, I know. Remember, alright, hold on. I think y'all are misinterpreting something. When we say show sportsmanship, remember, I know the referee is not a player. The referee is an official. And that's where we're making the mistake. Right. Right. Alright. So what other way do we show sportsmanship? Say that again, Mark? So we can take, Mark is saying we can take pictures with our opponents. So that's another one, if you want to write that one. That's another one. And there's one that I thought everybody would have said already.
Wait.
Well, I make him finish.
I will be just for you.
Alright, so you can notify the referee that I don't want that one. That's like you're respecting your opponent. There's another one that is so common, like y'all watch football. Yes, McPherson.
No. If for instance,
No, that's
for
incorrect.
instance, you foul me, I take you out. No, you foul me, I take you out.
So you're assisting your opponent. So that's one. So you assist your opponent. That's not the one that I thought everybody would have given.
Never say it, no.
Say it then now.
Okay, I
When you're watching the television, and say for example, Premier League. Alright.
Yeah, how may I say?
So say it then now.
Yeah.
You are at Premier League games and we're playing on an opponent teams, right? So we're opponents. At the end of the game, we do something. What do? We pass, shake, and stage. Something else.
Exchange
words
Jersey.
and jersey.
Exchange of jersey. I cannot believe y'all took so long to say that one. No, it's not. It's not.
Oh, that thing. Alright, watch your World Cup. No.
Yeah, because remember, in a World Cup, it's just starting. So the teams who are going to the final round, you can exchange your jersey. I'm sure you don't watch. Alright, when you watch like Ronaldo and those players play.
Yeah.
Don't you see the exchange?
Yeah, good.
It's a sign of sportsmanship.
Once a while, application.
Once a while.
Yeah, but it's still a sign of sportsmanship. And another one that nobody says that, I guess because you're all males, you're not gonna say this one. But at the end of the game, or to greet your opponent, you kiss on the cheek.
No. Oh, what's it? At some point.
You have some countries that's their side, that's how they greet each other. So please write that in your notebook. A kiss on the cheek. A kiss on the cheek. That's how some countries greet. Mexico is another country that does it. They kiss on the cheek and they don't kiss on one cheek. They kiss on two cheeks. Yeah, I have to take this. And if you don't kiss on the cheek, it's considered disrespecting the person's culture. So hold on, let me clarify something. You have some persons who directly kiss the cheek, but you have some persons who imitate the kiss on the cheek. Because you're respectful of the person that you don't believe in kissing on the cheek, but you do. If the person is doing the kissing, you turn, you still don't disrespect the person's culture. I know, remember we just talked about racism and stereotyping. Remember we just spoke about racism and stereotyping, so we have to be very careful. Alright, so we're saying violence is behavior involving physical force. It is intended to cause hurt, damage, or kill someone, and the someone is your opponent. Remember, we're looking at sports. Everything that we look at is all sports. Yes. Remember, I know violence in sports, doesn't necessarily mean between players. It can mean spectators. Right. Thank you. All right. I'm very glad it's a discussion and you said it. So when we're looking at violence in sport, it does not necessarily mean only between players. It's not limited between players. It's between spectators taking it too far. It's a wide variety. Yes. Because you intend to cause harm to the person. Your intention is to cause harm. Yeah, there are a lot of ways that you practice violence in sports, and that's not nice. Alright, so now we're looking at hooliganism. And when we look at violence, we have to look at hooliganism. And this is a term that is used to describe disorderly behavior, violent or destructive behavior perpetrated by spectators at sporting events. So now we are looking at the spectators part. So when the spectators them are run the referee, your referee boy going on a sense, they might behave like them a hooligan. Yes. Hooliganism not promote, right? Alright, my people. And I'm putting 2 balls As I did say two bonus questions, but I changed my mind, I'm giving you three. So the three first questions are bonus questions. Alright. And question three is something that we're going to be going through, as in I have to teach it. No, class notes. Remember, I'm going to say that when I finish
Benefit of posting.
benefits are something good. Right. But we're looking at the host country. So it has to be the host country because it's the host team.
Go far.
I need what are. Hey, it's not community word, it's individual word.
What is that?
But I just got your bread.
Hey, this one question is big. Nobody will know.
Oh my God, bro.
Right, so we take 6, so this is the last one.
Give away name two sports.
Alright, so this is the one
If I look like this, move better.
Hey, come on, balance. We do unbalance. Alright, so those are the 6 questions. The first 3 are the bonus questions. Come with whatever you did, because it's 15 minutes leaving the class. Y'all see how, no, but we need to have a discussion about your SBA. Welcome back to class, Matthew. What is his opponent? Let me know if I eat your trying to say. Get the spell wrong. Which one? OPPONENT. You don't know one athlete with suffer racism? Look how much we have a Jamaica with suffer from racism, experience racism. OPPONENT. Who is next? Alright. Which team are your team, man? Which team you bring? No, this is not a benefit. Assisted what? Assisted. Wait, if you give a car, should I correct it or are you going to do so? Alright. No, I said to explain. I just gave you the definition for this.
I want to see my friend.
Alright, here you go. Not bad. Alex, even with your pen, you are blind me.
What?
Are you spelling me a check, sir? Never say wrong. Come now. Yes, so we're going to discuss it because we now don't know the answer. It's a bonus question. I shouldn't be telling you the answer for a bonus question. Question 1 to 3 is a bonus question. Questions. And everybody is coming up with without answering.
Nobody.
You cannot start a country's name in common letters, sir. What do you learn in your English class? Listen to the referee, this is wrong. You just write, listen up, Papa. Hey! Hello! Hello! Aye, listen. Aye, listen now. Move from beside the one Buddha. Guys, question 6 says, name, listen now, shh, listen. Listen guys, shh, hold on. Antoine and Alex, listen. Everybody can have your undivided attention, please. Question 6 says, name one athlete that has suffered or experienced racism. One Buddha right, them are. You is not an athlete, sir. You is not an athlete. Oh, tell me how you experience racism. Tell me now. How do you experience racism? What have you gone through to say you experience racism? One Buddha saying don't remember the right thing, sir. One Buddha, whatever, got that wrong, where them are. Look how much athletes have you gonna hear right, them are.
Just right, Antoine Griezmann. Simple. No, Antoine Griezmann.
You didn't for RE.
But the class almost up. Getting a bigger highlights. This is not wrong. Or getting highlighted. Your friend, don't tell an answer. Don't tell an answer to Trey.
Number 3.
No.
Say one prize I give away at Trey when I get it. Assisting the opponent.
Miss teammate too.
No, maybe they're on the same team, so no, the opponent. Posing. And that's what I was going to write for you, but you decided you never want to help you.
Yeah, number 3.
Alright, who is next? Don't show Alex the answer. Do not show him. There are many other answers that you can write. No, he's not going to give you the answer. There are many other answers apart from what he wrote that you can write. Think about it. If Jamaica decides to host a World Cup, what are some of the things that Jamaica would have to put in place in order to host the World Cup? And who wouldn't think they're the stadium? And the stadium would provide what for other persons? Think about it. Do not give them the answer to Trey.
Me have them doors not yet no. I number 3.
Thank you.
Me have got no remember the man. Can't the father.
Hold on, I want to fix this. It's not wrong, but I don't like how you write it.
Come back to you.
Yeah, come on, I'm going to change this. But you're not wrong. Don't show them. There are many other answers that you can write. We have to use our brain. If we're sitting on it, we need to get up and stretch. Hi, hello. Remember we just talked about racism and stereotyping? We never learn. So I'm going to have to teach you about that topic because we never learn. Why are we stereotyping, Alex? Why are they stereotyping you? That's not cool. In 2022, it's not okay to stereotype, guys. I don't hear you. You have to prepare what? And that will cause, and that will give the country what? You will just talk about it a while ago. We are now at the end of this amazing discussion class. I do hope you enjoyed it and had fun and also learned something. If you did, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, share, and leave a comment. Make sure you stick around to see my students on their SBA day. Bye now.